All right, everybody, welcome into the banter. Just three young men here.
Yes, the three of us.
Ooh, I'm so good at that.
You are, yeah.
Back-to-back days in the banter. I want to say I'm 3 out of the last 4 now. Like, I'm really starting to heat up with
That's
actually
huge.
getting the wheel to work.
And I would
Rolled
say
over
you're
my
probably,
cord.
I would say you're probably the favorite going into this week too.
You would have to think so.
Yeah.
You'd have to think so.
On a streak.
EDC, episode number 2,
Oh.
part 2. I'm just
my
kidding. I won't do that.
goodness.
Silas, what have you been up to? What are your latest hobbies? Because you don't really seem like you're buying into the EDC thing.
What do you mean? No,
I'm
I've
not really,
been there.
No, you've already been. That's what I'm saying. You're not buying
traveled,
back in.
I've traveled that road.
Which scares me a little bit because it means that I'm going down a road that is not one to be continued.
No, it will be continued. It will be because you're going to find a use for all of your accessories.
Why did you stop?
Why did I stop?
You get it all? Did you achieve everything?
Well,
Did you
here's
see
the
it all?
thing. Why I stopped is I never had a pouch. I never had
So you never took it that far.
No, I never took
So you
it
didn't have
that-
a place
it
to put
was,
them?
My EDC was things that were on me.
Right.
And I started wearing athletic
Yeah.
clothes, and
Yeah.
you know, with those pockets, they just don't hold a lot.
That's
And
why I
everything
like
falls
the-
out of them.
Yeah, that's why I like the pouch because then I feel like at the very least, I have somewhere to put the things.
Yes.
So at least they're
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You know.
But I
Because
will
if
say
it depends on you putting them all in your pockets every day, you're gonna give up on that.
No. Yeah, I couldn't do that. That's why I
That's
stopped.
exhausting.
But I will say I do need a kind of pouch thing for my backpack because I take my backpack everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good backpack is a good investment. We'll talk about an exhausting thing to try and sort through and buy a backpack. Like if somebody
I
right
used to
now
be addicted.
if somebody right now told you you have $300 to buy any backpack,
Oh my gosh, it's so stressful.
it's the most because they all accomplish different things well.
Yeah.
Like they all like usually to separate a backpack from the others, they have like one thing that kind of makes them special, like one cool pocket or thing like that. And you know, like if you are looking for a specific color scheme, then it's probably better off that way because then at least it'll narrow it
Narrows
a
it
little
down.
bit.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, I want a black backpack, forget about it.
That's
How are you
why
ever gonna
I
do that?
found this orange like hiking JanSport
cool.
bag and like many years ago, and I got different like book bags after it.
Yeah.
And I don't have any idea where the newer ones are because I just kept on going back to this one because I like it.
Yeah.
It's got
I
a lot
like-
of pockets. It's very utility.
I know. That's what I really love
Gotta
about
have those
backpacks.
pockets.
All the pockets. And
Yeah.
the one I'm carrying right now doesn't have pockets, and I'm very sad.
Yeah.
But what I did was I would like wear holes through my backpacks.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's hardcore. I haven't used a backpack since college. I used one in college though. I mean, that was, and it was
I
funny
use
for me
mine to
'cause-
carry my food to work.
There you go. It's funny for me because I didn't, I wasn't homeschooled from like 6th grade on. So like I wasn't
Oh,
using a
that makes
backpack
sense.
for the longest time. And then
okay.
I got to college. I was like, backpacking again. We're back at this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would carry a backpack if I had a laptop that I cared about. My only laptop is the old one that sits around here. I want a MacBook, man. I'm getting to that point in life. I got dipped into
The new M3s are so fast.
Well, here's the thing. Like, good MacBooks are getting more affordable. Like, even like well under. You can buy like. I saw during Black Friday, Walmart. They do refurbished MacBooks, and like you can buy like M2, M1. We're talking like $600, $700. Like
Wow,
good
really?
laptops that are refurbished. Which
Wow.
hey, that's fine. Like nothing wrong with refurbished tech. It's getting more attainable. I got dipped into the Apple ecosystem, and MacBooks started getting more attainable, and I started being like, oh, I would love one. Wouldn't use it enough.
well, here's the thing. Now that Apple makes their own CPUs,
I know they're in business now.
yeah, they don't get price jumped by Intel.
I'm starting to just become. I'm finding that my personality is starting to shift into just a hobbyist, like somebody who like just sees hobbies and immediately thinks I would like to partake in that too. That looks like fun. And I've always been that way, but the way I was before, it was like I would get introduced to one first, like from just like somebody showing to me, and then I would want the stuff. Now I'm seeing the stuff that I want, and then I'm like, I need to get into the hobby to have the stuff.
That's the problem.
And that's a dangerous place to be
it's
right
called
now.
materialism.
Well, yeah. Oh, no kidding. But it's a dangerous place to be because I'm finding myself there's like 10 different hobbies that I want to get into, and I'm
Well,
just
that's
making
what
these lists.
you made a very good point earlier whenever you were talking about how like with the EDC stuff, it's not a hobby that you get into that you then have to find time to pursue that hobby. You just buy things and have them.
Yeah.
And while like I as we talk about a lot, I'm very, very much into woodworking right now, but I have to find time to do woodworking.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of time.
Collect the things, but then I still have to have a time to do it. Or like I really enjoy fishing, but I have to find time to go fishing. I love kayak fishing. I have to find time to load my kayak up and go somewhere and go kayak fishing.
I do like that about EDC. And I also like EDC is a good hobby for me is one that has, and this is woodworking too, but a good hobby has a very big range.
Yeah.
Of like, I can buy something to like, because sometimes you just want to satisfy that hobby and like get a new thing for it. Mm-hmm. I could buy a pencil right now, a cool looking pencil for woodworking purposes or building or tool purposes, and be like, that's awesome. At the same time, I could buy a table saw. Like, there's huge range there. EDC is the same way, where it's like you could buy a really expensive knife, or you could buy a pen that's like $10 and you'd be excited about it. And I think that's good. There's certain hobbies like gaming, for example. Like, there's nothing cheap. There's nothing cheap about gaming. The barrier to entry is huge. You got to buy the console and the peripherals, and then you're fine. But like, there's like some hobbies where everything's expensive, like photography and videography. Barrier to entry, pretty big if you're trying to get into it on like the large scale.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
it's tough, man.
I'm like a dangerous hobbyist because of how much you're obsessed over it. And one of the funniest things I've ever realized was I didn't even realize this until Gabby said it to me like a little bit ago, was that I got into videography, and then like the next month it was my full-time job. And here I am. I've always been like that, where like I discover a hobby and get super into it, but it's just this one I got stuck in. Now here I am.
What you need sometimes to stick into one.
Yeah. While on the other hand, I was into disc golf. I've been into disc golf for 7 years, and so it's
true.
The disc golf is probably my longest running hobby, but it's turned a little bit more into not as. It's like I don't like just constantly think about disc golf. Like I typically move on to a hobby and constantly think about that one thing, and I don't spread it very well. So that's what I've been trying to do lately. Is I've been trying to spread my obsessive mind to where I'm not just thinking about one thing and forgetting about another. Because I invested way too much into fishing.
You went hard. I went
hard into fishing, and I've got to still enjoy it. But it's cold right now.
Here's the tough thing about fishing is it's not only is it time sensitive, it's location sensitive. You had to go somewhere to do it. Whereas
but I mean, I live like.
Right, but you got to get
10
in your
minutes from the.
There's
from
a difference in like breaking from your schedule in let me go to my shed to do a woodworking thing, and let me get in my car, get all the thing ready, drive.
Well, I've gotten pretty good with that to where I can. I've got 45 minutes until it's dark, and I've got a little bit of free time. I can get my kayak
I'm also saying
it
takes more of a request to go and leave the house than it does to stay at the house.
Well, yeah, because you have to you have to love it enough to where you convince yourself to do manual labor and to leave somewhere. And yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely. There's certain.
You've got to love it enough to get past the. I've got to put my 75.
Get it all
I've got to put my 75-pound kayak on the car.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Whenever I get my truck, I'm definitely gonna make an easier way to get the kayak on the car.
Well, can you just like
I got
put
pretty
it in
good
the
at
bed?
it.
What is the easy way?
No, because the bed,
and then lean it up.
It's in the
like if the truck cab is here, the bed is here,
and just bungee it
like that.
You definitely can't bungee it, but I don't know how confident I would feel about doing that because the bed's really short because it's just a Frontier.
Oh yeah.
So I think the bed's like 4 feet.
Mm.
It's a really really short bed.
That wouldn't do anything.
No. Is there like a roof rack?
Yeah, there's a roof rack.
Oh, okay. It's just harder to.
Yeah, what's the better system?
I got really good at putting the kayak on the roof by myself. So actually, that wasn't a big deal anymore because I would just get it parallel beside the car, then pick up the hull and scoot it to where it's on the car. And I would actually even protect the car. What I would do is I'd take my PFD, lay it on the car right underneath the roof rack so I could pick up my kayak and set the front of it right on the PFD and then just get to the back, slide it up, and you just maneuver it onto the roof rack. I got really good at it to the point to where the last like the times that I've gone kayaking with somebody and it's like another guy, because Gabby can't help me load it, it's too heavy. But whenever a guy is like, oh, I'll help you load it, it takes longer because I don't know how to load it with two people. And it's way faster for me just to put it on myself.
You have a shed?
Yeah.
Can you put your truck? Can you drive your truck into the shed?
Into the shed? Yeah. Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
I was gonna say, rig up a little pulley system.
That would be sick.
Suspend your kayak from the roof, and then just like untie the rope, lower it down. Boom. There you go.
The survival guy I've been watching, the Outdoor Boys guy, he has a super nice kayak, and he it was crazy though. He was in Alaska and it was winter, so like there's like chunks of ice in stuff and he's like going through this water, and he's like yeah, this guy's like so calm, cool, and collected because he's very good at what he's doing. But he's like, yeah, if I flip this thing right now, I would go hypothermic immediately. Like, it's that cool. I'm just like, that's a lot of pressure. He's like going over these like breakers and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh.
What kind of kayak are we talking?
It's definitely like, I don't know. It's a fishing kayak.
I'll look him up. I'll know it from the immediate looks of it.
I don't know how quickly you're gonna be able to track down a clip where you can see his kayak.
What's it called?
Outdoor Boys. And he uses, like, there are a lot of videos where he uses kayaks that are provided by like the outdoor like wildlife place. So,
can you feel like the temperature of the water while you're in the kayak?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does it like
when
radiate?
It splashes up onto you?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. I've never gone kayaking.
The one that I'm talking about, Konner, if you see it, it is like a sand, like khaki color. That's the one that.
Did he have a motor or did he paddle himself?
No, it was a fishing kayak, but it looked like kind of like Konner's, where it was like had similar features to it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so his is more of it's more of a skiff type kayak to where it's mainly just, it's almost like a intense paddle board, where it's like a completely flat along the top, and he has like a bucket that he sits on.
That's not the one I saw.
On a bucket?
Okay, well this is one of
I was just saying he uses a ton of different ones. I'll see.
That'd be scary.
I will see if I can track it down, but it was one that he was sitting down in. Like it looked like the one.
Then I'm sure he just has different ones.
But yeah, I can't imagine kayaking with the pressure of
How big is this channel?
Oh, he's got
pretty
5
big.
million
That video
subs.
I just saw.
Yeah, he gets just a ton of views.
Like
I feel like this is one of the videos you like put on in the background while you're doing something.
Dude, yes, it's like therapeutic. Well, you know, here's how I found this channel. These guys are huge, and they've been huge for a while. But the way I found his channel is because I think this might be the video where I can find it. Or no, it's not that one. It's because he became a meme on the internet because one of his things is that he loves honey butter. And so people like started making these memes about him and like enjoying honey butter, like. That's and that funny. Started out as the thing. And so I just randomly clicked on one, and his videos are very like, because he goes to these beautiful places. He does a lot of his camping. I think he either lives in Alaska or nearby, but he does so many of his in like remote Alaska, and it's just beautiful. And like, yeah, his videos are like, and he's so like calm, cool, and collected out there. This is going to be the video.
How long is a video?
Okay, yeah, this is the kayak.
No, I've seen that guy. Doesn't he have kids?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is a lot of times he takes his like 2 like young boys, like he took a 4-year-old son out there, and they're just winter camping in the middle of nowhere with no tent in Alaska, and he just makes it look easy. Yeah, like they're just chilling. He's like pulling out Kraft Easy Mac out of his bag and like heating it up by the fire. It's like, here you It's this is the video, Konner. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I've seen this guy now.
But yeah, this is the one where this is one where he casts his rod in and proceeds to just reel in fish after fish. He was catching black bass. And he was eating them. Which I didn't really know people liked eating bass.
Konner, have you ever like fished and then caught like what you
catch and cook?
He has done a catch and cook.
No, I've never done a catch and cook. I would really love to though.
Okay.
I've always wanted to do that. I think I love that's one of the cool things I like about his video. Well, that's one of the cool things.
I want to do a catch and cook really bad.
See, he's smart with these things where like his he does very extreme situations in the sense of like the terrain and the weather and stuff, and he makes his own shelters a lot of the time. But when it comes to like, he brings a fire starter, he brings some pre-prepared food. Whatever he catches, he does eat, but like he's not going to be like, if I don't catch anything, I'm not eating. Like he makes it fun for himself, you can tell, because like, yeah, if he doesn't catch anything, he'll just pull a bag of pancake batter that he made out of his bag and like cook it over a stone.
He's not going to suffer.
Right. So like he's making it a good time. So you're not stressed out watching him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he actually, It's actually a Ascend T10.
Dang.
It's not that nice of a kayak.
Oh, there you go.
It's actually Bass Pro Shop's brand.
He does wear.
The Ascend kayaks get crapped on big time in the fishing kayak community.
I wonder if he's sponsored because he wears. I saw him wearing like.
They're not bad kayaks at all. They're just not. They're just box store kayaks.
Yeah, I wonder if he was wearing waders that were Bass Pro Shops.
I mean, he's got 5 million subs.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I haven't seen him do a
probably
single
sponsored
ad
by
read
Bass
yet,
Pro. Maybe.
so I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a crappy kayak at all.
Yeah.
It's just
Also-
is it a budget one though?
And also that one must not be his either because he flew on a floater plane to that place. A lot of what's really cool is he does these Alaska camps, and so many of them, like the Alaskan like wilderness forest like people, they will like put out boats for people to use in kayaks at these remote places. In the last one, he was finding whale bones.
Wow.
Yeah, have you ever seen a
That's
whale
crazy.
vertebrae disc?
No.
It's like a dinner plate. It's insane.
That's
He was like
crazy.
finding them washed up, and he was like finds this giant rib bone. He's like, I'm gonna figure out if I can keep this thing. This thing's pretty cool.
Is he from Alaska, or does he?
I
just
think
travel
so.
there?
It seems
I want to go to
from
Alaska.
what he talks about.
Alaska's
Yeah,
cool.
from what he talks about, it seems like he grew up either in Alaska or going to Alaska. I'm
Okay.
I'm slowly developing the story around this guy.
Yeah.
I would like to. My wife really wants to do an Alaskan cruise,
That'd be cool.
and yeah, I think that'd be especially after watching these videos. I think that'd be pretty fascinating because it looks beautiful. Like, and I like yeah, like obviously the beach and like tropics are nice to look at, but like there's something about like that cold like northwest like almost like
difference already.
glaciers and forests, like that to me is like really fun to look at.
Yeah,
I really do enjoy that.
that's cool.
If I were at my pick of cruise, it would be a European cruise, like Mediterranean.
That would be cool.
So I want to go to Europe really bad.
I think I'd rather just go visit Europe though.
I would too.
I think for a
would
cruise,
rather
I think for a
visit.
cruise,
No, I would too.
I like the idea of doing like the tropical cruises because it's like those places I don't want. Like I would visit, but I'm more interested in just seeing like the best they have to offer really quick, and then like
Yeah.
into the. But like whenever it comes to Europe, I think I'd be sad while I'm on the boat because I'd be like I want to be in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I don't know how much time you spend. Yeah, I don't know how much. I think a lot of the Mediterranean cruises, you only have one day where you're not on land. I think you're used, but you're right. You would probably feel like you're cut off. Yeah.
I will tell you one thing. I've been watching a lot of shorts lately. I'm more into short form content now than I've ever been.
I know, dude. We're so broken.
I know, dude.
It honestly upsets
I've
me.
gotten to the point. Oh, and I'm embarrassed of this. I'm
probably gonna resonate with what you're about to say.
Whenever I look up how to do things, I go straight to vertical.
Ooh.
I
I
scroll
don't do
down.
that.
I scroll down and I look because I'm like because usually I'm doing that thing in that moment. Like
Yeah.
I need to know now. I can't turn my phone sideways and skip. I need to know now.
What I find myself doing, which disappoints me greatly, is I'm sad at myself. I need to learn patience again. I click on a YouTube video, like these EDC videos, for example, and I'll just skip through them. Like
I used to do that.
I'll just go to the one product, skip to the next one, skip to the next
Because
one.
I think
the
it's what happened-
chapters there too. Most
I
of
think
the
the
time.
chapters make it too easy.
I think actually having access to shorts and like being more interested in those has made it to where I don't do that with YouTube videos anymore.
But another thing I'll
Now
do is
whenever
sometimes
I-
I'll get halfway into a good YouTube video and I'll just lose focus and I'll just leave it.
Or even worse, you get halfway into a good YouTube video and then you look down at the recommended and you see a better one. And then you click on it and then you're just stuck on it. Yeah, dude.
YouTube, like as much as the YouTube algorithm is a total blessing and a curse, I think it's a blessing in the sense that like you can be nobody on YouTube and you can make it. Like you don't have to just slow build. You can play the game. You can make a good piece of content and get like you can instantly become viral overnight because you made a good video or an interesting one. And I think that's good. And once you learn how to play the game, like you're not going to get screwed over by it too much.
Yeah.
But it does create the consumption of YouTube. While it is really convenient and it does like put new cool things in front of you that it knows you're going to like. There was something so peaceful and beautiful and simple about old YouTube consumption because all I did was I would go to the subscriber page and I would work my way down. And I would watch, like, that's how I used to consume YouTube is I watched every video that somebody I subscribed to put out. I just watched it through. And I would do it daily. So I'd maybe watch 2 to 3 YouTube videos a day. And that was like my media consumption. And that was it. There was no short form media. Gosh, man, the world was better without it.
See, my thing was
I will go ahead
all
and declare
throughout, I never.
This coming from a guy who watches a lot of TikTok. I wish it wasn't here. I wish it was the way it was.
Whenever I was in high school, I just watched it all on the TV. Like that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like I would sit on the couch and just watch YouTube.
I
on
would just
TV.
lay in bed with my phone. I was homeschooled. I mean, I was just took a lot of time because the problem is what happens now is it used to be that most of my consumption was long form YouTube content. So if I wanted to watch a TV show, that was a pretty easy jump for me to make.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, if I'm going to watch a TV show versus what I normally consume, which are 5-second videos, it's like, oh man, buckle up.
I do love TV shows.
And once
once
I get into them, I'm totally hooked. It's just starting them seems like a chore, and it's pathetic. Like it's honestly ridiculous. I might have to delete TikTok. Might have to. It's starting to get to that point but the problem is, you delete TikTok and then your brain will find Instagram Reels or it'll find YouTube.
Well,
Shorts.
that's what I love, and I know that there's people who make it to where their TikTok is actually tailored towards them.
Does your YouTube Shorts, will it take?
It's based off of the YouTube videos you watch.
Oh.
That's why I feel
like I need to settle into that.
Well, that's why I watch Shorts so much. I don't get any random crap on Shorts. Nothing. Yeah. That's why I had TikTok for like 2 days, and I got tired of trying to get it to know what I wanted because it just kept on showing me random crap that I just didn't care about.
It takes a while.
And I was like, I'm watching stuff I don't want to watch, and so I deleted it. And but what I love about Shorts is it has 15 years, not really 10 years.
So we can look at our YouTube like watching stats.
Oh,
I don't know,
man.
It'd probably make us all sad.
Yeah.
But now, so it's whatever I'm interested in that time, all my Shorts are on. So like right now, it's all like really complicated hand carving joinery and woodworking or like knives. And and then whenever I watch it, whenever it's getting warmer outside and I start doing a little more fishing and start watching a little more fishing videos, all my Shorts are going to start being fishing stuff. That's what YouTube is.
Beautiful.
YouTube's very good at tailoring it towards you, but that's because there's so much more on their platform than on TikTok's platform.
What the heck is your data in YouTube?
So just like a watch time.
You have like watch history.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't. I don't know.
It's probably so many.
It would be crazy.
Hours.
Let's all compare. We should compare our app usage.
Like on Steam.
You can do that, can't you? Like your screen time on like certain apps.
Can you?
I'd be curious to know what our how we compare. About to expose ourselves.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
If you search screen time, I think you can find it on your settings. Maybe not. It pops up. Like, where do you find your screen time?
Oh, I got it.
How the heck did you find it?
You can click on screen time. It's in your settings.
Go to your home and then just
I am home.
See all activity.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Now it pops up. So what's
so mine's taking in my computer as well.
Oh, really?
Wait, how? It says like your iPhone and your computer?
It just says most used, and DaVinci Resolve is the most used.
Oh.
That's interesting.
I don't have that.
Mine does not do that.
But it also only says, is this for today? Okay.
My daily average this week.
This can't be for today.
Oh, it does like website now too. That's fun.
Pickups? What is that?
It's like I've been on Civivi looking at knives for 3 minutes. Pickups is like how many times you pick up your phone. You could see like what you were first used after picking up for like messages.
Where are you seeing these stats?
You got to go into the day, see all activity. No, see all activity and then scroll down. Like there you
go.
Oh. So my daily average
most pickups. What is your daily?
My daily average is 4 hours.
On what?
That's just total screen time.
My daily average is 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Dang, you're much better than I.
Mine is definitely my computer as well because it says my daily average is 8
hours. It's definitely not accurate. So over the last week, my most used is TikTok.
It says all devices. I can click on devices.
Oh, there you go. My most used for this week is
though.
Yeah. My most used is TikTok at almost 4 hours.
How do you find that?
Crazy. If you just scroll down.
Mine's Instagram, and that's 2.
I've only spent.
Where do you see most used?
If you click on.
It says most used.
Yeah.
Mine is YouTube, but I think it's just showing it.
Okay, my TikTok.
You can change it to week. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really dumb.
My TikTok daily average is an hour. That's bad. It's really bad.
Mine is too.
My phone daily average usage is 2 hours and 50 minutes.
I'm the leader in the pack then. What's your YouTube daily average?
My YouTube daily.
If you click on it, it'll show you your daily.
Well, my
average.
weekly is only 2 hours and 18 minutes. Not that bad.
Yeah. See, like last week, I
in that case,
my most used was YouTube.
That would mean that
This week it's Instagram. It just depends on the week for me, I think.
That would mean that like 95% of my time on my phone is YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube device. What are your notifications? My daily average notifications is 180. That's a lot.
spend 41 minutes on average.
Notifications?
Yeah. Yours 70. Mine's 180. Oh my god.
Yours
on
I
what?
thought you said 80.
Notifications on what?
You're just daily average for total.
66.
I don't have
Mine's
a lot of
180.
I don't have
You know
a
why
lot
it
of
is? I'll tell you why it
notifications.
is. It's because I'm in a family group chat with my in-laws and like that family, and they are always yapping. That's what it is. I can probably look. I can see. You can probably see your. No, I can't. I can just see total. Because I have 206. Oh, and you know what else it is? Is I have ESPN notifications on and Ring doorbell. That's what it is. Okay, so mine's skewed.
I don't have either.
Because I get 100 ESPN notifications.
Okay.
In the last week, and 77 from Ring.
Trevor,
That's
if
not
you
fair.
want to still have TikTok, you can set app limits, time limits. on it.
That doesn't work. You can just bypass it. I've seen it happen.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can turn it off, but
No, like when you go into it and it says you've reached your limit, all you have to do is type in your passcode and it's
oh dang, that
like
sucks.
it doesn't. It's not. If your problem is that serious,
I'll set your passcode for you.
maybe. No, if I can, I think honestly at this point, like the reason I used to actually like feel the need to use TikTok was because I enjoyed trying to keep up with the trends of it. But I feel like we're kind of shifting away from the TikTok trends a little bit. Like it used to be like society and conversation was dominated by TikTok trends. It was like, that was when TikTok sounds were really big because TikTok for a while was being used heavily.
I didn't enjoy that time period.
Yeah, it was being used heavily with the sounds, and it's not there anymore. It's mostly just being used as short form content.
Yeah.
So I feel like now would be the easiest time for me to just be like, I'd rather have catered stuff anyways. Let me just do
Just
the
on
YouTube shorts.
YouTube,
You know what?
yeah.
Tonight, no TikTok. We're going YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And
All
I'm
right.
gonna see how it
Come
works.
on.
See how it works for me. It'll probably be all EDC, and I would rather. There's no
the
way.
EDC shorts are out the wazoo.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
They're out of the wazoo. I think I'll love it.
I feel like there's
This is big for
probably going to be more EDC content on YouTube.
Oh,
YouTube
definitely.
Shorts.
I don't have any. My TikTok, I couldn't even tell you. Like, that's the other thing about TikTok is I used to be able to shape it very clearly. It was like at one point it was all golf stuff, and then it was all soccer stuff, and then it was all whatever. I haven't been able to do that in a long time. Just so sporadic. There are creators like they've almost changed. Like there are certain creators that stick around on my feed because I watch their stuff more, I guess. But it seems very random these days.
For YouTube, I think it mainly bases it off of how long do you watch how long do you watch it?
You watching it, if you interact with it, that's a surefire way. Like if you decide to like a TikTok or comment, especially, like that's why you'll see comments, people be like commenting to stay in the algorithm.
I've never commented on a short in my life.
Neither have I.
Right, same.
They're like, it is. Yeah.
I was in the filmmaking TikTok.
TikToks do make me laugh sometimes, though.
Those pop up on mine.
That is the one thing about TikTok is like they do make me laugh sometimes. That is sometimes I do like the randomness because I'll see.
Yeah, I
one.
don't really have any comedy in my YouTube shorts.
I see some stuff that makes me laugh a lot sometimes. Like there'll be good nights on TikTok. There's good nights and bad nights. Some nights I'm scrolling, I'm like, this is stupid. Other nights, I'll be sitting there just cracking up to myself. My wife's like,
Actually,
what are you
I changed my
talking
mind.
about?
I have a lot of stand up on my YouTube
Yeah.
shorts.
Stand-up is so hit or miss.
Yeah,
some of
it
the
is.
guys make me laugh like almost
And
every
some
time.
of it, it's just like horrendous. I'm just like,
Yeah.
why is these words coming out of my phone right now?
Yeah, TikTok can be a wild card sometimes, but I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe I'm a YouTube Shorts guy. My wife she's been on Instagram Reels for a while because that's that has a lot more to do with like her feed and what she consumes, and she's been able to like, I don't know, she's doing that. I still send her TikToks all the time. I feel like a little kid, man. My brain was consumed by this short form content. I hate it. I wish I could go back in time and just get rid of that part of my brain.
Get rid of that.
Can you retrain it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I broken?
No.
I might be because my brain knows now. It didn't know before, and now it knows what it can have.
That's what you become what you're feeding.
But now it requires discipline. Before it didn't because there was nothing there.
Well, it did require discipline. You just were disciplining yourself in the wrong way.
What do you mean?
It required you to constantly feed that, like short form like content.
No,
So it was technically discipline.
Before short form existed, I'm saying.
Okay.
It didn't.
You
Like
had the option.
I was just consuming what was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have the option, so now discipline's involved. Now if I were to go back, it takes discipline.
Now here's what you got to do now.
So it's tougher now.
You got to go home. It doesn't have to be tonight. Just one of the days this week.
Yeah.
And don't get on your phone at all. Just read a book.
Dude,
Then the next day you're gonna be like, I can't wait for that YouTube video.
Yeah, I have been thinking about it. Because actually my wife is was reading in bed last night. I was on there on TikTok like a loser, and I was thinking to myself like, yeah, I'd actually enjoy reading a book right now.
I've done a good bit of reading this week, and it's wonderful. Whenever I'm done reading a book, I need
something to get into.
I never feel more stressed after a while or after I'm done reading a book.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm not afraid to admit it. I suck at reading. I'm not a good reader at all, which means that whenever I read, I have to focus on it. Like it doesn't just happen. I don't just look at the page and it just happens. Like I have to actively read, which means that there's not anything else going on in my head. If I'm watching something, I can get lost in stress or in anxiety or whatever else. But if I'm reading a book, I'm just focused on looking at this book. Nothing else matters, because if I start thinking about that, I'm not reading. I have to.
It's true.
It's like a shark.
Yeah.
It's like a
That
shark.
is a great thing about reading is you do have to lock in. So if you're able to get locked into reading, it absorbs you in a way that movies, short form content, all that stuff doesn't get you. It does bring you in.
True.
Some of my
It's also like a pretty good exercise for you mentally, and also
it is. I need to start reading it. I do have a book actually. I started reading it at the beach, and I never got to finish it because I have a toddler at the beach, and that requires a lot of attention. But I will say, like, the most immersed I've ever been able to get into a piece of like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but when I was the first or second time I read the Harry Potter books, but whenever I was reading it, I was so immersed into it, like just engulfed in it, that I literally one time I finished a chapter and felt sad because Hogwarts didn't exist in real life. And like, and I only could have felt that because when I was reading it, it was so real to me that I felt like it was a place I was headed.
Yeah.
Like that, like
I
literally that
understand.
happened to me. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like that's how immersed in that book I was.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
I want to get back there. I want to go back to Hogwarts.
Listen, I'm reading Harry Potter right now, which means that every time someone says a word to me, I'm disappointed that they don't have an English accent.
I know I started listening to them all a while back, and I made it to book 5, and then I just got out of the rhythm of it.
How many are there?
There's 7.
8. Well, books. 7. There's 7 books.
Come
here.
on now.
There's 8 movies.
There's 8 movies. 7 books.
I don't think I've seen all the movies, but I've seen a lot
Just
of
read
them.
them.
They're all good movies.
No, read them first, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I
wow.
disagree.
Different?
I
Like, are the books
disagree.
and movies
Actually,
different?
I disagree because I think watching the movies will make you interested in the Harry Potter world, which is
I
a
feel
very
like you can
interesting
visualize it because you've already seen the
True,
picture.
you also have, and
You
their
can now
characters.
visualize
None of the
it
characters
with
are
the book.
disappointments. No,
No,
they're not.
I
Like,
actually
oh,
would-
that doesn't line up.
I would agree with you, Connor. I think I probably was on the other side of this argument in the past, but I agree. I think you should actually watch them first and here's why. Yes, the movies are actually pretty good. There's a few, the later into the movies, there's a few bigger plot elements that are like, ooh, that was pretty interesting that they decided to do that. Like that didn't happen at all. But for the most part, the casting is insanely good, which means that the perceptions that you would develop of characters reading the books are pretty much spot on to what you get in the movies.
They really are.
There's a few that are portrayed differently, but not many. They're mostly spot on. So that's not going to be ruined for you. And Connor's right. Like it'll get you interested enough to want more.
And whenever you can finish the entire movie series and go directly into reading book 1, and you're learning things.
Yeah.
Because you cannot. There's so much in like.
It's just a bonus.
There's so much going on in the Harry Potter world.
The movies
that
are the
they can't
Cliff Notes,
fit it,
basically.
they can't fit it
Yeah,
all
it's
into the
the
movies.
Cliff Notes.
So you're like, even me, like I've seen the first movie many, many, many times, like a lot of times, and I'm reading the first book right now, and the whole time I'm like hanging on the edge of my seat because I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first few books are like pretty accurate to the movie. Once you get to book 4 is when I always say book 4 is the first time that there is an entire
That's when I stopped. because I read them in middle school, but I only made it to the beginning of book 4.
Book 4 is the first time that there is an entire character and subplot that is not in the movies, that is just a humongous part of the books. And ultimately
His name is Lord Voldemort.
No, dude. Ludo Bagman. Ludo Bagman. That's a name you don't know from the movies, and he's a humongous part of the books. And ultimately, does it change what happens in the plot? I mean, it affects it, but it doesn't like change the outcome. But it's interesting and it's fun. There's also huge plot points with the reporter Rita Skeeter, the like one who has the pen that writes by itself.
Yeah,
there's way more plot point stuff with her in the 4th book as well than there is in the movie.
I love the Harry Potter movies. I'm a big fan.
Harry Potter means a lot to me.
Very good movies.
Means a lot to me. Maybe I will just go ahead and start from the 5th book and just read those, but I don't know. That's the tough thing about books. It's overwhelming. There's so many choices.
We got to end the podcast.
Yeah.
I need enough time to edit it and throw it up.
Okay. Throw up. Make it.
We did the podcast a little later today. We always do it in the morning, so we always have an unlimited amount of time.
A little later. But we're all 3 awake.
Yeah, that's true. We had to
okay.
wait because we were shooting a very important video.
Let's all do our favorite Harry Potter spell. I think it'd be funny because Silas can make one up. That's what makes this the funniest. I actually don't know what my favorite spell is.
I can't think. I'm trying.
I have one I like. You want me to go first?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I really like the spell Reducto. You just blow stuff up.
That's a good one.
Silas, and you can explain what your spell does. Here we go.
Termitrius.
And what does that do? Just for the termites.
No, it just puts termites everywhere.
Dang.
That's a dirty
huge.
spell.
That is dirty.
I saw this tweet the other day.
I have no clue where that came from.
I saw this tweet the other day that it was like if you keep talking crazy, I'm going to show up to your place with 9,000 termites, like, and now all of a sudden your foundation's gone. And I'm like, that is the craziest revenge thing you could do to somebody is let termites loose on their house.
That's crazy.
You won't know for years.
I don't know what my favorite because I don't want to say one if it's just a basic one.
Just name one you like.
Wingardium Leviosa, Expecto Patronum, like all those. Like I don't want to say
Expecto Patronum is a great spell, man. Gotta love it.
I'm just trying.
I'm seeing Harry Potter with a live orchestra in June.
Oh.
And it's the 3rd one. And when he lets that Patronus go, and there's some freaking string instruments in the back going ham, I might cry.
I like the one where whenever Ron is like, something, turn this stupid fat
sunshine
rat.
daisies, butter yellow, turn this stupid big fat rat yellow.
Yeah, that's it.
Butter mellow, something like that. That's a good answer, actually. Or when he just says, eat slugs, Malfoy.
Yeah.
And then it backfires, he starts throwing out slugs.
Good
stuff, man.
All right.
EDC to Potter. My Harry Potter EDC is going to be sick. I'm going to have dummy
dude.
wands in there.
Oh, come on, Trev. Come on.